What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Immense back at it with another video. And today we are doing my first monthly check of 2025, my January 2025 monthly check. But before we get into the actual beginning of the video itself, guys, if you do not know what my monthly check is, it is where we rank every single movie that is a new release that came out that month, or just movies in general I've never seen before, but everyone else has, and we rank them from the worst to the best. After that, we go into my overhaul, which are new things I got this month. And then after that, I show off my new pictures that I have on the ceiling you see above me, that I drew. And unfortunately, I believe we don't have any this month. Let me just double check here. No. I would just like to apologize on that. I don't know. This month was just really busy with new releases, which was kind of surprising for January. But anyways, and as well, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free, and number two, also maybe out with the YouTube algorithm recommended more people, maybe they could join. Yeah. And feel free to comment your monthly checks down below. But with that being said, guys, let's get right into and before we get right into we have a total of 18 movies I saw from January, and most of them are new releases, I believe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 12. So I saw 12 new releases, which that is crazy to say for January, because January is usually the dumping ground for stuff, and you don't have much movies coming out that month. So that's pretty crazy. And then all the rest are movies that everyone has seen before that I have not seen. So, without a shadow of a doubt, coming in at last place at number 18, I have my worst movie of the year thus far, that being Flight Risk. And going into this one, I wasn't expecting much anyways. I was probably expecting it to be bad. But on the level of how bad it was, yeah, it was pretty rough. Don't get me wrong, is it like F tier? For me, I wouldn't say that bad. I wouldn't say it's F tier, but it's a D. I gave it a D. Bad CGI and green screen, and I expected that from the trailers because it looked bad. The best thing about this movie that made it somewhat enjoyable is Mark Wahlberg's very over-the-top fun performance as the villain. However, they sideline him for most of the movie, so you don't really get to see much of him, which is really sad. And also, I do think that plot overall is interesting. However, how they executed it, not the best. There's some pretty bad acting in here, and don't get me wrong, as I said before, Mark Wahlberg has a fun performance, but fun over-the-top performance, but it's kind of still a bad performance, even though I like Mark Wahlberg, don't get me wrong. Topher Grace here, man, I like him as an actor, and I know he gets a lot of flack for Spider-Man 3 and his performance as Eddie Brock / Venom, but I actually think he's okay in that. I don't mind him in that, but I felt he was very over the top in this, and I hate to use that term whenever someone's acting in this in movies, but he kind of acted a little over the top, and it is what it is. The main lead actress, I forgot what her name was, but she basically had not a whole lot of emotion, and the dialogue and the way the movie is written is just so confusing as to why they went that route. But especially all I'll say is there's a scene where the main actress is like talking to somebody on the phone, and suddenly it turns into a romance, and it's like, what the heck? That's so odd. Anyways, I don't recommend. Yeah, my worst movie of the year, by far. I thought it was terrible. Unfortunately, even though it had fun moments about it. Coming in at number 17, not too far behind that, Back in Action. This one I put slightly above Flight Risk because there were some enjoyable moments for me. It's great to see, and this is a straight-to-Netflix movie for those who did not know. It has some pretty good performances by, it has some pretty okay performances by Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx, which I'm glad to see them back in the, in acting again, so it was nice to see them again with that adding to the movie a little bit. Also, there were some funny moments in the movie that actually kind of made me laugh, kind of made me chuckle, which I was not expecting from this. So, but besides that, pretty bare bones, generic Netflix action movie. So, but is it worse than the other ones? No, I would say this is actually one of the better ones, but not by much. It was a very meh movie. It wasn't terrible, like awful, but it was very meh. Coming in at number 16, here's a hot take. I have the first Den of Thieves. So I watched the first Den of Thieves for the first time last month, building up to the second film that was coming into theaters. And I thought it was okay. I think the direction that it was going for definitely worked, but I didn't like that direction it took, if that makes sense. Like, the direction they were going for was a gritty crime thriller, and I think it certainly works in that, but along with that, you have some characters which I don't really care for. The only character I really thought, maybe beside, like, Ice Cube's son and, Gerard Butler maybe were the only two characters I really cared for, but I didn't really care for them that much in the first movie. So, and it's just super ultra serious. I think there's barely any humor in the movie. So, yeah, overall, was not a fan, unfortunately. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's okay. It's just I didn't care for the characters, and if I don't care for the characters, I don't really care for the movie a whole lot, if that makes sense. Coming in at number 15, I have The Love Scam, and you guys probably went like, what the heck is The Love Scam? And I don't blame you. This was a straight-to-Netflix original film, and I believe it is, I couldn't tell what sort of foreign language film it is. I'm pretty sure it's a French film. Correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comment section, but, I watched it dubbed, so you had, English, like, dialogue with the actual characters, so I couldn't tell what type of foreign film it was, but it was okay. It was okay. Some moments were decent. If you like foreign films, you'll probably like this one a lot more than I did. I think the whole entire story, while being generic, I think certainly worked for the type of movie it was going for. So, but yeah, it was okay. I didn't mind it. I could watch it again maybe in the future. I don't know. Coming in at number 14, and I would say from here on up, I think these movies are like good to excellent. So, coming in at number 14, I have Bill and Ted Face the Music. We have had certainly way worse straight to legacy sequels, and this one was actually pretty solid. I think the way it tied all the movies together worked really well. Keanu Reeves, even though he doesn't feel like Ted anymore, he doesn't do the whoa or like the iconic catchphrase lines because he's a lot older now. He is still pretty fun in the movie. Also, what's the guy's name? Yeah, Ted, the actor that plays Ted, I think still has that energy from when he was younger. So, yeah, he definitely still fits right into the character. Well, there's some pretty bad CGI and green screen in here, but it is what it is. This came out around 2020, so maybe they didn't have enough time, unfortunately, to fix the CGI, possibly. I don't know. Death was a standout, and it was cool to see him again. So yeah, overall pretty decent, legacy sequel. Taking a drink of my Coke Zero. Alright. Coming in at number 13, I have Den of Thieves 2 Pantera, and I actually enjoyed this one more than I did the first film. Just because I think the characters were overall more likable in this movie than the first film. But the first film had a really good twist. I forgot to mention that earlier, but it has a great twist at the end of that movie. But this one I enjoyed a little bit more because the characters weren't as dark, and this one was more... Well, instead of being dark serious, it was more of like goofy. So yeah, I enjoyed it for that reason. I think the actual heist itself is a lot better than the first film in here. I like the Pantera setting. Yeah, as I said before, liked the characters a whole lot more this time. Still, the movie, I think, does take a little while. Well, takes a long time to get to the actual heist, but it's still building out and fleshing out the characters. Also, there's some logic issues as to how, Ice Cube's son and Gerard Butler are friends after the first movie, so, but besides that, I had a decent time with it. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was actually good. I can't say really good, but it was good. Coming in at number 12, I have The Great Muppet Caper. So this is this came along with, well, I'll talk about it more in depth later because I'll show it. Did I just have a voice crack? I don't know. But I got a 2-film Blu-ray collection of Great Muppet Caper and Muppet Treasure Island. And Great Muppet Caper was in that double feature, and I had never seen it before. I've seen Muppet Treasure Island before once, but Great Muppet Caper I've never seen before, and that's the only reason why I got the movie, really. And I thought it was fine. I thought it was solid. I think it's basically a prequel to how Piggy and Kermit met, so it's cool to explore that before they knew each other. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Coming in at number 11, I have Dogman. I think the animation for this film was beautiful. I kept on watching the movie going, man, this animation looks great, man. And it's by the same people that did Captain Underpants. I still prefer Captain Underpants over this movie, but I still think this one's quite solid as well. There's a decent little lesson. There's a decent little story going on in here with Petey and Little Petey. With their whole entire father-son dynamic. I thought that was pretty strong for the movie. However, still a kids movie that has the usual kids tropes, and it is a little bit too long. But otherwise, still thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. And I liked it. Coming in at number 10, I have The Damned. So this is a horror movie that had a very limited release, so not a whole lot of people might have seen it, but I think it's very reminiscent of movies like The Thing, where it has all these characters and it's kind of psychological thriller where you don't know what's real from what with this whole entire entity that's around there. I thought that was very interesting. Some really good performances in here. However, it does feel a little too reminiscent of The Thing at sometimes, and also it is a very slow movie, but still thoroughly enjoyed it. And this was the first new release I saw this last month, and it was actually pretty solid. Coming in at number 9, I have Ad Vitam. Again, I don't blame you if you don't know what this movie is, but it is a straight-to-Netflix foreign film. I believe this right here is actually a French film, because I watched it with its actual language and subtitles, English subtitles. And yes, it is a French film. I thought this was great too. I enjoyed, well, not great, sorry. I thought it was really good, good/really good. I enjoyed the characters a lot in here. There's some very suspenseful moments throughout the whole entire movie. And overall, it was a really decent thriller. So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot more than The Love Scam. So coming in at hold on. 10. Coming in at number 8, I believe, right? I'm trying to think real quick. Because coming in at number 8, I have Presence. So this is the new film done by, what's the guy's name? I forgot what his name was. But it has Lucy Liu, and you have the dude that's from Stranger Things, where he gives Eleven the French fries in the first season. And also he's from This Is Us as well. Where the whole entire POV of the story is from a ghost, where you're just following a ghost, following this family, first person. And overall, it was a very interesting concept. I think it takes a little bit for you to get used to that gimmick, but when eventually you do get used to it, you do get used to it. Especially later on in the film, I think it definitely helped things. Need to blow my nose because whenever I talk a lot, I need to blow my nose, so I apologize. But I think it was a very interesting experiment. However, I think some of the dialogue later on in the movie from a specific character, I won't say, is I don't think was written that well. But everything building up to that, I thought was pretty solid. As I said before, the performances are good. And also dealt with grief quite well, and I dug the ending. I dug the ending where it left off. So yeah, I'm gonna take another tissue. I'm blowing my nose again. See, this is what happens when you talk a lot about movies. All right, coming in at number 7, probably the biggest hot take of the month. Actually, I don't know. Den of Thieves and this is probably tied. I have The Wolfman from Leigh Whannell, and I actually enjoyed this a lot more than most people. Is it as great as I was hoping for it to be, because this was in my top 5 most anticipated movies of the year? No, but I still thought it was quite solid. I liked the body horror elements that they did in here, where it wasn't a remake or like a copy, shot-for-shot remake of the original film, which I definitely appreciated it, and I thought all the practical effects with the actual Wolfman transformations were great. I think there were some gnarly images for sure in this. Christopher Abbott did really good in his main role. And yeah, overall it was quite solid. For the problems I had with it, I do think the whole entire husband-wife dynamic I didn't think worked as well. And the whole entire daughter-father dynamic I thought was a lot better. Anyways, that's number 7. I gave that a B+. I still really enjoyed it. Can't say it's great, though. I said it was really, really good. Coming in at number 6, I have Joker's Wild, which probably a whole lot of people are going to go mad, going like, oh, that's not a long film. Oh, that's a short film, or whatever. I'm counting it for my end of the year list, and I'm counting it for this, all right? And from here on up, I would say these are great. And Joker's Wild, I thought was great. You finally get to see David Howard Thornton. I cannot speak. David Howard Thornton play the Joker, which most of us have been clamoring to see him play the Joker. And after seeing this, I hope James Gunn hires him for the new DCU to play the Joker, because I thought he was great in this. However, the only issue I had with this is I do think it probably won't be... I don't think it will be rewatchable, because it is a very dark movie where you have Robin getting tortured and stuff, so it's very, very dark. But there's elements with David Howard Thornton's performance as the Joker where he's like kind of goofy. He has that Art the Clown energy where he's goofy, and it makes the scenes somewhat enjoyable, where he adds this comedic charm to it. So that certainly helped to make it not like unbearably unwatchable. But I thought it was great. And I think it did a great job at setting up maybe a sequel to the short film. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And, yeah. Coming in at number 5, I have The Fog from 1980. I had never watched the John Carpenter original film before until a week ago, I believe. And I got the 4K Steelbook for Christmas, and it's been sitting there for a while, but I eventually watched it, and I thought it was a great little horror film, too, where you have ghost pirates. I think there's, the creative aspects with the clouds are quite well done. I think the acting is pretty good in here. You got Jamie Lee Curtis as well. This was, oh, wait, no, I was about to say this is before Halloween. No, this is after, because Halloween came out 78, right? So yeah, this was her second film with John Carpenter, I believe. Unless if Halloween 2 came out 79. I don't think it came out 79. It might have came out 1980 as well. I don't know. But I think the whole entire ghost thing was used very well in this. And yeah, overall did a good job at making The Fog scary. So yeah, coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I have Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul, my second favorite movie of the year thus far. And I thought, wait, this was like the first movie, I believe, that came out that I saw first when January started, and I thought it was a great way to start the month, start the year. I love Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I think that's one of my favorite all-time animated movies. And for this one, I thought it was great too. It does have some familiar elements to other movies you've seen before, but overall, I think it is one of the better versions of that. Even though it does have a lot of familiar elements to it, I think it still has that Wallace and Gromit charm to it. I think the claymation still looks great, and I hope we get more claymation movies soon, because last year we had Memoir of a Snail, which I didn't see, but I heard great things about, and that was claymation, and I hope we get some more claymation movies soon. Coming in at number 3, I have I Am Sam. So this is a movie that has let me just pull this up real quick. Sean Penn. I don't know. I'm blanking out because I've been talking a lot. But this had Sean Penn get nominated for his Oscar at the Academy Awards for his performance in this. And I thought this was very sweet movie. It was very it definitely had me tearing up quite a bit at some certain points in the movie. Sean Penn did great, even though most people don't think he deserved the Oscar because his character was too annoying. I didn't think it was annoying. I think he actually did a great job at encapsulating his disability, and did a great job at that. Michelle Pfeiffer also does great in it. You also got what's her name? The Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park in here in a minor role. She does good too. And the whole entire arc of Sam, where he's trying to get his daughter back and they're not letting him because of his disabilities, I think is a very compelling story. So overall, I think that movie's very underrated, and I thought it was great. I'm glad I got it. Coming in at number 2, I have my favorite movie of the year thus far, that being Companion. I loved this movie. Besides maybe 2 things, there are some certain plot holes where it kind of like cheats to get past them, and also it sets up something in the final part of the movie that didn't really come to fruition to help the movie a little bit. Besides that, I thought this movie was great. The performances, especially by Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher, I thought were awesome. Sophie Thatcher, I think, gives an Oscar-worthy performance in this, and I hope she gets nominated next year for the Oscars. She did great. Jack Quaid also did great too, and it does a great job at commentating on toxic relationships. So, yeah, by far my favorite movie here thus far. I thought it was awesome. Coming in at number 1, I have Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I watched the Bill and Ted trilogy for the first time January, and the first film in December. And Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is my favorite out of the 3, which I know might be a hot take for some people, but I loved how weird and wacky it went with this movie. I think it's very funny that Bill and Ted got both sent to hell, and like you get those dream sequences that I thought were a lot of fun. And yeah, I think this is my favorite out of the Bill and Ted trilogy. So yeah. I'm glad I watched the Bill and Ted trilogy. Alright, that is my ranking done. Now let's move on to my physical media. So new stuff I got this month. Well, correction, 3 things aren't mine, but they came into my dad's collection, or the family collection, if you will. They got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 on 4K, even though it doesn't have Part 1 anymore. So we have a rare copy. See? We have Part 1. Wait. I'm trying to make it focus. You see Part 1 right there? So it's a rare copy of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. So that's cool. So we have that. We also got Ed Wood. I've never seen this movie before, but I saw my dad got it. It has Johnny Depp in it, so, and I think it's based off... Oh, it's Tim Burton film, too, so this is interesting. And then you also got dun, 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 Beverly Hills Cop 3 film Blu-ray collection. I love the first Beverly Hills Cop. I think it's great. 2 and 3 I haven't seen, nor the 4th film, but I love that first film, so yeah. Alright, now we got the stuff I got this month. Now we got the stuff I got from the family cabinet. I have Good Will Hunting, never seen it, but I heard great things, and this won a lot of Oscars when it came out. Titanic, I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. Classic. Moana, definitely superior to the sequel, one of Disney's best films in most recent years. The Abbott and Costello Monsters Collection DVD. The only reason why I got this is just because I have the Abbott and Costello. Wait, down here somewhere I have the Blu-ray collection of all the Universal Classic Monster movies. And they have the Abbott and Costello movies in there, except for Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So this one has that, and that's the only reason why I brought this to my room, is because it has that, so it helps definitely have that in the collection. Exodus, Gods and Kings, it's okay. And then we got Woodlawn, never seen this movie or know what it's about. I just know it's a football movie, so there's that. Now we got actual stuff that I got this month. So we got, Godzilla came out on Fortnite this month, or last month, I should say. So I got, oh my goodness. Okay, hold on a second. This won't go in his mouth. Pause. But here's Godzilla. And then you also got Kong, too. You got this cool little action figure set, so... And they both... It's perfectly timed, because both of them are on Fortnite now, so I have that. They had these Mufasa the Lion King, like, keychain. What is this? I don't know. But they had this, so I got that. And then, does the back have anything different? No, not really, but that's cool. Alright. And, okay. Things I bought. Alright. We got Everybody Loves Kung Fu Fighting, the Kung Fu Panda 4 movie Blu-ray collection. I already had the 3 DVDs for the first 3 movies, but I wanted to upgrade them, so I got the 4 film Blu-ray collection, and this also comes with the 4th film, so I don't own that. So I said, oh, you know what? Let's get this. So I got that. One of my nostalgic shows, one of my favorite superhero shows for sure. I have Batman the Brave and the Bold, the complete first season. I love this show, and I upgraded the DVDs as well. And I grew up with that. That and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes I grew up with, and that's a very nostalgic show for me. Next up, we got the Scream 2 movie 4K collection of Scream 6 and Scream 5. I still need to get Scream 4 and Scream 3. Those are the only 2 movies I'm missing from the Scream movie collection. But the first film, the second film, and the third and fourth film, I think, are my favorites. So that's why I got these 2 and those 2. Instead of 3 and 4, because 3 and 4, don't get me wrong, I still like them, but they're probably my least favorites out of the series. But and the first movie is my second favorite movie of all time, so I love Scream. So got that in there, and then you also got the announcement the other day that that Matthew Lillard's coming back as Stu Macher, which I'm super excited for. Okay, oh my goodness, sorry guys. Next thing I got is the Platoon 4K Steelbook. I've seen this on Amazon a couple times, so said, why not? So I said, why not buy it? So I got the 4K Steelbook here. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. And then that's what it looks like on the inside. Never seen this movie before. Probably it's going to be a one-time watch, I feel, because war movies are very sad and touchy subjects. So, but I've heard great things about that one. I got The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Season 1, Blu-ray Steelbook. I've not watched the show. I need to catch up on Walking Dead. The TV show, I think, like, I stopped watching Walking Dead around Season 7, I think, which most people seem to have stopped. Most people seem, it seems as if most people usually stop at that season, so I'm along with that because the Negan season, so anyways, but yeah, need to catch up on that for sure. We also got the Oddity Blu-ray. I watched this movie for the first time and I missed out on it when it came out in 2024, so I finally watched it and it was solid. It was a solid little horror movie. Definitely a slow burn one, but I think the actual doll was creepy, and I think there is a very good amount of creep factor in that movie. Talked about it a little bit earlier, but I got the Muppet 2 movie Blu-ray collection with Muppet Caper, The Great Muppet Caper, and Muppet Treasure Island. As I said before, I've seen Muppet Treasure Island twice. I like that movie quite a bit. And The Great Muppet Caper, I thought was quite solid as well. Next up, we also got WWE Blu-ray. I have Royal Rumble 2021. I thought this pay-per-view was actually pretty great. I think the women's Royal Rumble was awesome. I think the men's Royal Rumble was awesome. And at the time, it was very cool to see Edge win the Royal Rumble, which I was not expecting. I was expecting, who was I expecting to win that time around? I'm trying to think. I actually expected Big E to win the Royal Rumble that year, but that actually didn't end up happening. But yeah, this was a great show, and underrated too. And Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns had a great last man standing match. The Hell in a Cell 2010 Blu-ray. I've never watched this pay-per-view, but this does have a couple matches that I've seen, like, the results of with John Cena versus Wade Barrett, where if Barrett ended up defeating John Cena, and John Cena ended up joining the Nexus. The Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Kane for the World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton versus Sheamus in the WWE Championship Hell in a Cell match. And then also the triple threat match with Morrison, Bryan, and The Miz. So yeah. And then final thing that I got this month, the I Am Sam DVD, because I saw a clip of this on Instagram and I was going, oh, that seems like it could be a great movie. So finally watched it. Yeah, it is great. And I think it's very overhated and very underrated. So that is my complete physical media collection. I do not have any pictures on the ceiling this month, unfortunately, but I hope y'all enjoyed this January 2025 monthly check. Be sure to stay tuned in for my February one, because we will have more sporadic new releases come out to most theaters with Hard Eyes. Well, I don't know if Hard Eyes will be on the video, because Hard Eyes supposedly isn't in my theaters near me, so that's very odd to see that, because usually most of the trailers that get shown in the theater end up coming to that theater. You have Love Lies Bleed. Wait, is that what it's called? Not Love Lies Bleeding. What's the movie called? Love Hurts. With Kiki Kwan, Captain America: Brave New World, Paddington 3, The Day the Earth Blew Up. I'm pretty sure that's the new Looney Tunes movie. So yeah, overall going to be pretty packed month for February. So stay tuned in for my next monthly check and all those reviews for the movies I just mentioned. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace.